winning. Sunday nights at 10 p.m. On the air and he just calling. Conversations with Coach La 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 La. Coach La 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 La. If you got something on your mind, you can call in, you can hit a line. She the realest, ooh, she the realest. You can tap in, loud, oh, get a business to empower you so that you can do every and anything that you want to. Kicking it with Coach LA, it's time to listen to conversations that's gonna keep you winning. Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on the air and he just calling. Conversations with Coach La 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 La. Coach La 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 La.
What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people, beautiful people? Happy Sunday. Happy Mama Day. Somebody find mama out there. Happy Mother's Day to all of the beautiful mothers, the nurturers, the caretakers. And yes, I know some people thought I was going to take tonight off, but got a special show tonight. And I think this show is really a great show for the moms. And so this is a nice time for us to sit, kick back, get some information. I got a chance to rest pretty much all day today. Shout out to my son who is in the studio with me tonight, helping me out this evening. He definitely surprised me and made me feel really special. Gave me a beautiful card and some flowers and some chocolate. So yes, and this is getting ready to embark on my health and wellness journey. So I'm getting ready to, kick it up a notch. So tonight's show is all about health and wellness. And I think as moms, we have to make sure that we're taking good care of ourselves because we want to be here. We want to be here to see our children grow up. We want to be able to see our grandchildren, and we want to be able to have great lives. Most times we spend so much time taking care of other people that then when we get into our later years, a lot of times people are sick and we don't want to be sick. And I definitely want to be able to live, I would say, like Cicely Tyson. She was well in her late 80s, almost early 90s. And I want to be able to do that too. So tonight, we're going to talk about the intersection of health and wellness and mental health. And I'm excited because I think a lot of people are thinking about this. If you're over 40, there's a lot of things going on. People are hitting menopause. So I have a lot of really cool products that were sent to me by a company that I got connected to through Instagram because of a young lady by the name of Karima who came on 2 weeks ago. And this gentleman reached out to me and said, "Hey, you had Karima on your show. I think I want to connect with you. I love your energy." And so me and him connected over the phone and started talking and realized that we were in alignment with a lot of the holistic approaches. And I'm very curious and I want to learn. So what better way to learn but to find someone who knows what they're doing and to learn from them and ask them questions. So he is the founder of Just Some Herbs, which is a wellness and lifestyle brand that provides alternative health care for those suffering from health crisis that impacts their quality of life. Just Some Herbs facilitates the healing process by using electric herbs that are grown throughout the globe, courtesy of Mother Nature. Our world is beautiful, he says. However, sickness and suffering have become very common nowadays. So healing is imperative. In order to heal, we must educate ourselves while taking full responsibility for our health. A healthier planet makes it possible to achieve unity, peace, love, progress, and prosperity. Better health gives us better life options. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome to Conversations with Coach La, Mr. Ronald Royal. Turn on his mic, bring him on camera. I know he's super excited. Hi, Ronald.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? Thanks for having me
How you
tonight. Thanks
doing?
for
How
having me.
you doing?
I'm
Well,
great. I'm so great.
we didn't pull this off. We pulled this off, and we got you here, and I'm excited to learn more about you and what you do. And we also got some products in the studio for me to try. I pulled
Mhm.
out my little shot glasses. I'm not taking shots. I'm taking healthy shots to y'all.
Let's
You
go.
know,
Let's go.
going to be trying some things live on the air. But before we get into it, tell me, who is Ronald? Like, if you had to break it down, what's not in your bio? Tell me more about who you are.
Ronald is just somebody. I'm a lover of all. I'm a humanitarian, for lack of better terms. I love the world that I live in, and I'm privileged to be able to just say that I want to do my part as far as building a legacy of just allowing the people that of my generation and future generations to benefit. They always say that our lives are a testament of those people that we impact along the way. So Ronald's just a lover of humanity that wants to do his part in beautifying the world and letting everybody get that spunk in their life to carry them. You said you want to live as long as Cicely Tyson, but we could do
Let
that.
me
We
tell
could do
you.
that. It's supposed
Listen,
to be.
I had listened to her audiobook during COVID, and she was real simple in drinking her water, eating as clean as she could, as often as she could. I really admired her, and so I think that we got to kind of go back to a lot of those simpler ways of living. She also said
Mhm.
she tried to reduce stress in her life. That was the other thing that I took
It's a big
from
part
that,
of that's a big
reducing
part of it. Yeah.
stress. Absolutely. So we have a couple of different products. Should we just start by bringing up one product at a time and talking about it that way? Is that how you want to do it?
We
And
could do it however you want to do it. I want the people to get more of an understanding of why cleansing is so important. Cleansing, I do believe, is the greatest form of self love, and love is what definitely encompasses better mental health and understanding of who you are while being able to keep the ground beneath your feet and keep on ascending to the heights that you hope to get to.
mm-hmm. So do you have a product you want to try first, or do you want me to just bring one up at a time and we'll just name it off?
Yeah, we could just name it off.
All right, one product at a time. Give me a shot glass, and as you bring them up, we're going to talk about them. And as we talk about them, I want to just sort of learn more about what inspired you to get into being an herbalist. I know you said you were inspired by Dr. CB.
Hmm.
So tell me more about it.
I was definitely a student of Dr. Sebi. I think he in his time on the planet, he did a lot of great things, and he showed us that you could achieve peace, you could achieve harmony just by taking care of yourself. The reason why he inspired me so much is that he always made the note and say that he's just not the perfect man. He's somebody that didn't go to school, but even though he didn't do these things, he still found a way to make his mark on humanity. And he showed us that the things that people told us were incurable are definitely curable. So you got the heart to heart. That
Yeah,
right there, that's a special one right there, and it's appropriate because it is Mother's Day. So that's from my heart to yours, and let it nourish your heart and do some great things. So that's the appropriate one to
right.
start with.
So on the bottle it says "Get your life right,"
Right.
and it says just some herbs, heart to heart. Now, one of the ingredients in here is lily of the valley. Now I know about ginger and I know about rosemary, but tell me what inspired the products that the ingredients, excuse me, that are inside this.
So that particular formula is designed to nourish and cleanse the valves of the heart. By cleansing the valves of the heart, what you're able to do is you're able to allow your blood to circulate. And if we must know one thing about the heart is the conveyor that allows the blood to circulate throughout the body. So that improves that. And while improving circulation, you lower blood pressure and as well as cholesterol. So once you do that, you off and running. But that's done to prevent things like stroke, heart attack, enlarged heart valve, and all those things like that. And the reason why I named it Heart to Heart is because a lot of what I do comes just straight from love. So love inspired me to do that. So that's from me and my genuine heart to yours. And while it nourishes your heart.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things about incorporating holistic practices such as juicing and herbs is that it actually has a lot of good benefits to balancing out your mood and your mental health. So this is really some stuff that people got to consider doing. So I'm gonna take a sip. This one is
Yeah,
hard
let's
to
go.
hard. Now he has 7 products. I'm like, you better not, I hope this ain't gonna have me run into the bathroom. But I
Yeah.
need to get through the show. Okay. That doesn't
Not bad.
that doesn't really have like a taste so much, but my son didn't shake it up either. So I think a lot of these things you got to make sure you shake them up. Okay. Make
I
sure you
just
shake them up.
going. You got shake on, you know.
Gotta shake them up. But
Mhm.
this doesn't have a taste at all. And it doesn't smell bad. So far, that has a very neutral taste. So I'm
Mhm.
just gonna go ahead and so I thought because that had ginger in it that it was gonna be stronger, but
Mhm.
it is not really strong. Okay. So that one was heart to heart. So tell me, right? So one of the things too that what I was reading is a couple of things. So consuming a diet that's rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins provides essential nutrients that support the brain function and mental well-being. So being able to sort of get a handle of your food intake is really connected to your overall mental health improving. So this is a twofold thing. When we think about lifestyle changing and making these adjustments, they talk about supplements, drink, juicing, and things of that nature.
Mhm.
All right, we're gonna bring up the next one. Let's see what else you got over there for me. One of the other things too. Now, did you know that removing like fatty foods and things out of your diet also had a great impact on your mental health? Did you know that?
For sure. That's like food is the direct correlation of all the illnesses that we deal with. So it's all food related. So removing those fatty foods allow your body to just get instantly rejuvenated. And then the cleansing part of the process is just what takes everything over top. It gives you clarity, gives you a greater understanding of who you are and the world around you. That's why every bottle you see that slogan, which is my personal get your life right. Because when you're checking in with me, that means that you're acknowledging that you have a problem that's impacting not only your wellness, but your overall quality of life. So when we check in and we do this cleansing process, that is how you get your life right and becoming to receive everything positive in abundance.
Totally understand that. So, what I was surprised by is that the research was also sharing or stating that unhealthy fats and additives have been associated with increased risk of depression and anxiety. So, when we think about, not just obesity, but just overall, if you're not feeling well or you're not in good space, it could be connected to what you're eating. All right. So, this next one is sea bladder.
Okay.
So this one has sea moss, bladder whack. Is that how you say it?
Bladder rack, yes.
Bladder whack and burdock root.
Mhm.
So tell us about this. Tell us about these roots. What do those do? I know a lot of people are familiar with sea moss, but tell us about these other two.
So aside from the sea moss, which you previously mentioned, you have burdock root. Burdock root is one of the minerals or herbs that are very high in iron. So people have, especially within the last 4 years since the global crisis, health crisis that took place, everybody was becoming more infatuated with sea moss, which sea moss presents 92 of the vital 102 minerals, but it doesn't have iron. So I was able to infuse bladderwrack, which is another sea vegetable, which is loaded with iodine that helps remove the excess water from the body, and it also gives you it also gives you nourishment for your thyroid gland. And anybody that's going through a weight loss journey, they know that the cleansing of the thyroid gland is appropriate to keep the body balanced and remove that excess water, the stubborn belly fat, or the fat around your arms and things like that. So that's why it's important to clean out your thyroid gland. But the burdock root is also high in iron. So I wanted to fuse that together and allow you to get that balance.
All right, y'all. This one, I don't know how I feel about it, but so now do you drink do I take a shot of this every day or do I mix them all together?
You can mix them all together, but you're doing that twice in the day. So if you mix them all together, you're doing right before bed, so your body's able to get that restful night's rest. And rest is definitely a part of the healing process, because when we are moody and tossing and turning, that's a sign of the body being under distress and in desperate need of healing. So the
Okay.
2 shots right before bed and then right when you wake up, so that you know that that's a sign to let you know that you're alive. Because upon taking those shots, your nose is going to run, you may have bowel movement, you may definitely urinate, but that's how you know that you're alive, because those are life's processes.
Oh, geez. So, I think a lot of people are reluctant sometimes to do these detoxes, especially if you have a busy life, because of all of those things you just named. And I'm also told that, you get cranky, and that you just feel not so good while you're going through this. Like you literally are detoxing.
So those are myths that I would like to take a moment to dispel, because in the first 2 days upon detoxing, yes, you do feel a bit of withdrawal because you're letting out the toxins out of your body. So your brain is like, what are you doing? You're letting go of all of the stuff that I'm used to, which is coming from the foods like you have sugar, starch. Those are two of the body's greatest enemies. But when you're in a point of needing cleansing, that's the body. That's two things that the body desires most. Like sugar is very, very hard to let go of. Starch, on the other hand, potato chips, bread, tostones, all those things that we really, really love. Starch, and starch is what grabs the body and sucks all the oxygen out of the body. But it's really, really good. I'm sure that you're familiar with that Lay's campaign. Bet you can't eat just one. And that's with all chips, because your body just knows more and more and more. So when you start to let go and you start to empty out the body, which is detoxification, then yes, the first 2 days can be very rough. But if you can make it past those 2 days, man,
Okay.
sky's the limit.
Well, shout out to everybody who's tuned in from Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I see some folks that are tuned in from Instagram. So tomorrow, shout out to Vic Breedy. Me and her she's challenging me to do this. I don't know what you want to call it. Kick my butt. A kick my butt detox. But tomorrow 6:30 it kicks off, and I'm incorporating all of these things. And again, I mean, I just think we got to take better care of ourselves. I stay on my son to take care of himself. I got to do the same thing.
Sure.
So far, they don't have like a good or bad taste. It's just kind of like bland. I'm gonna get ready to bring up the next one.
Mhm.
All right, so we're gonna bring up the next one. Sunshine. You got attention. He's missing all his cues, y'all. I'm like, we gonna bring up the next one. Y'all heard me say it like 3 times for everybody
He
that's
gotta get his life right. That's all.
through iHeartRadio. My son is here today. I kind of, forced him to be here to help me out. Thank you for joining the Right Warrior. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So I figured, why I can't tell you guys about something unless I actually try it live on the air. And given that me and Ronald just met each other,
Right.
we wanted to actually make this be interactive, and for you guys to participate in the taste testing of what I'm about to embark on for the next 2 weeks to see how this impacts me and my body. So this one here, now got all these things in here. I'm going to try to say some of this. So the name of this is called She Ready. So I want to know, what the heck is we ready? What is she ready for? Who we talking about here? You talking about? Talk about? All right.
Nah, so well, she ready is that upon sipping that, you should be ready to take on the world. So that's that you to operate just and be your feminine self. But that right there is
Now,
the
how do you?
woman's
What's in
estrogen.
this? What's in this? Damn Amina. How do you say that?
Damiana. So
Damiana. What is that?
Damiana is actually a wellness herb that serves as an aphrodisiac. If you allow me a second to ramble, I want to explain. I want to explain this product right here, because I heard you talk about menopause earlier, right? So I want to take a moment to kind of adjust that. So She Ready is to boost. It's a natural estrogen booster for females, and you guys know that that's the chief female hormone. So that right there is to get your estrogen going. It also aids in sexual performance and desire, but it also takes up your energy so you can walk around and not be moody, not be cranky. Now, when we talk about menopause is actually one of life's greatest myths, and it doesn't exist. What happens is the older you get and the more poor your diet gets, your hormones become imbalanced, and so that takes you out of the mood to have that sexual desire, and then your body becomes resistant to that. So that's why She Ready is there. So you can have your estrogen, you could get to be able to just work out, feel calm, and have your hormones together.
So I'm gonna say this: if you guys consume spirits, you like you're a connoisseur of adult beverages, which I am, you know that everything we drink don't always taste good, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this whole shot as if it is a shot. And here we go. 1, 2, 3.
All right, coach,
All
let's
right.
go.
So it does, again, these so far it doesn't have a taste either way or a smell. They're pretty neutral. So I probably could mix this all together. But okay. So She Ready is something that helps with feminine energy and just sort of restoring your estrogen.
Yes, it's estrogen booster because that as life goes on, through the stresses or inactivity, that is something that wanes. So I just want to be able to let them kick it up a notch.
Okay. So we are, sampling products, but tell me what is it? What is your inspiration? Because you're making these at home. You're a small business owner,
Mhm.
which is one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on. Is that I really like encouraging small business ownership, and we know word of mouth and marketing promotion is one of the biggest ways, to get the word out about what we're doing. So I want to, commend you for stepping into this arena, the health and wellness arena. What are your motivators to keep this going? Like, what has inspired you to create these products?
There's so many different things that inspire me, but what I would say is just being part of a healthier world. When we are aware that sickness is among us, we can complain about it, but eventually we have to be provoked into taking action. And I know that we could cure. We could cure each other. And a healthier planet is a planet where, like I said, we are able to achieve unity, harmony, love, and wellness. We all supposed to want to live in excess of 100 years, and that's just my plight to do that.
So your goal is to be the change you want to see in the world, help people be healthier and live longer lives. That's
Without a
how you're
doubt.
motivated. So a lot of times when people come on the show, there is something behind why they do what they do, and we talk about mental health. So one of my questions that I always ask everybody is, what does mental health, what does therapy mean to them?
Mhm. What does therapy mean to me?
What?
Therapy is a great way to keep you self-centered, and healing people is therapeutic because I watch people come to me with for uh entire list of things, but the main thing is challenging them to at least do 14 days of this cell therapy. What you're going through, the shots that you're currently taking, all that is just cell therapy and cellular respiration. So me seeing you commit to that, that's one that warms my heart and just puts a greater smile on my face, and reaffirms my purpose. So that's what therapy does for me. It reaffirms my purpose and gives me greater direction.
What I love about that is that a lot of people may or may not know this, but acts of service and serving in general is a way of boosting your own mental health. So just having something where you feel as though it is making a difference and being connected to purpose and passion overall brings you joy. And I think sometimes we chase happiness, but I think that you can have the duality of emotion. So two things can coexist at the same time. But when you have joy and a connection to something that's bigger than you, that often I think really helps you to stay grounded. Um, and to be able to come out of places when you're sad, because there'll be moments you're sad. It's just part of the bandwidth and the continuum of emotion. So I'm gonna try the next product. Let's see what we got next. So So when you come up with the names, because I noticed that there's cool names. How do you get inspired to name the products?
What inspires me is me knowing the purpose of creating it. So when I created a product like Lung Love, right? A lot of times you got smokers and you got the liver clean. That's the one. That's one of the ones right there. Man, that's just cleaning out your liver, your kidneys, and your gallbladder. You got it, and those right there those are pretty much the ducts for the body. You got to clean those. When those fail, you fail. So that's just me telling you to clean it out. So much people they like to consume adult beverages and things like that, which you could do that, but I encourage people to drink responsibly. And if you're gonna drink, you go to the gym, you work out, and you get it right. And
Okay, that was the first one that had a smell that was like, woo! Oh, okay. Ooh, guys, let's. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one, y'all. But we
you
gonna.
got it, coach. You got it. Come on, Lie, you got it.
Okay, so ooh, mm, mm. I don't know if I like that one. Ooh, ooh, this eat clean and drinking clean ain't gonna go kill me. If it don't make me bad, if it's listen, how does that
It's
saying
gonna
go?
make you much stronger. It's gonna make you
It
much
gonna make you
stronger. You
stronger.
know that?
Oh, if it don't
Yes.
kill you, it makes you stronger. Lord. Okay, I don't know about this liver clean, but I guess if we're drinking all of that bad stuff like alcohol, I guess you need something that's potent, strong to clean it out. So
Right.
that one,
So,
that one has a very potent smell to it. And the taste is a little bitter.
mhm.
Um,
But you heard that's going to restore the kidneys, like I said, restore the kidney function. So you
mhm,
have a lot of people that suffer from renal failure and things like that. So
mhm,
then when you also revitalize the liver and the gallbladder, one thing that I found interesting over the last probably decade, a lot of people have been going through surgeries where doctors are encouraging them to remove their gallbladder. So that's pretty much what inspired me to create this formula to restore the liver, the kidney, and gallbladder.
mhm,
And you could tell that a person's liver, kidneys, or gallbladder is failing when you look at their skin. You look at the skin, and you also want to check for the ring around their eyes or the skin marks because our skin is supposed to be very even toned,
mhm.
but you see that, and when they have diabetes, that's also something that's correlated with that. So that's a great formula for people who suffer from diabetes, liver, kidney issues, and issues with swollen gallbladder, because you shouldn't have any organ from your body removed, no matter what your doctor suggests.
Yeah. So what's so interesting is that I believe it's all what is the name of the movie? It's called Forked Up or something like that, but I think it's on Netflix, and it was talking about just the food industry in general, and we don't realize all of the different things that we're consuming and what the impact of all of the preservatives and different things that are going in our body. Not to mention Americans, we are the most obese country. So I mean, it's really a lot of our illnesses are connected to food and to weight. So what do you think about that? I mean, I mean, I know a lot of people talk about it, but what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, every illness that we have is related to food. And proper diet is what promotes that. In America, it's unfortunate that we promote obesity. You could scroll down your feed right now. You could see so much things that they're doing with food. They're trying to reinvent food, but by reinventing some of these meals to look cool, that means that you're putting a lot more chemicals in it because you are trying to feed a larger population. Population is growing day to day as it should. But we don't want to come into this world sick, and this is what food is doing. So every illness that we have is related to what we consume, and that's why I made it my business to adopt alkaline lifestyle. It's not a trend. It's actually a lifestyle. It was very difficult for me, but in 2014, I made the decision to try my best to remove all meat, dairy, starch, and hybrid foods from my diet. And as a result, here I am, now, and I'm able to have such an impactful conversation with you on how to heal and what's the first step to take. And the first step that you take in that process is, I want to do better, but it's hard to cut out a McChicken with cheese, or a good slice of pepperoni pizza, a good steak, a Philly cheesesteak, some vanilla wafers, butter crunch cookies. Those were what made me feel good. So I knew I had to part ways with those things, but I learned how to cook, and I found some great chefs along the way, and they kept me in line. So
So I'm hearing you. I mean, and it doesn't sound like you were having any health conditions or anything that prompted this. So what about your lifestyle made you just one day wake up and say, you know what, I'm gonna change?
I definitely I for those of you who don't know, I am an educator, and when I started off educating in the classroom, I was a preschool teacher for autistic children. And so when you are amongst those little guys, it requires a great amount of energy and focus. And because of my diet, I didn't have the energy and I didn't have the focus. I didn't have the focus that I needed to give to them or my family. Once I left the building at 3:30, I had a family that I needed to be around. And even before that, I used to tutor and do test prep. So I would find myself during my commute passing out or not being in the greatest of energy and having brain fog. So that was like, I have to do something. And I didn't start pretty much overnight, but little by little, 3 days here, 5 days there, a week here, and just taking these foods out of my diet. But it just wasn't giving me the energy that I needed. So upon changing my diet, I seen results immediately. But if I wasn't there, I definitely probably would have been a man who's impotent, very defensive, blaming other people for my faults and mishaps, and I just wouldn't be reaching the higher heights that I have currently done so, and plan to ascend to even more. So that's just what I had to do. Plus, I come from a large family, and I knew that if I took this step, I could influence the rest of my tribe to take those healthy steps to always becoming better people that live longer lives.
You know, that is so interesting how it usually is that you don't feel good in your body. Now, you also mentioned being in Sabi. So, how did you come in contact with him? And did these recipes get inspired by him?
For sure, we came in contact with him because he is of Honduran and Jamaican ancestry. So he was somebody that we always knew about in my family and my upbringing. However, just through connecting with my brother Sneeze, who started Alkaline Amateurs, we would have these conversations and we would challenge each other to definitely do these cleanses. And we always used to just watch Sabi videos and hear about the people that he had healed and what he had done. And we started to work on a book called The Seed of Sabi, and just going through and connecting with the people back in the village. And then that kind of just took us to the next level because they gave us the blessings to go on and just reach out and spread his message, continue what he started, and just healing people. But you have to heal yourself first, and just healing from everything and going through those food withdrawals from all the sweets, that's a very, very painful process. But like I said, it was something that needed to be done to get me to where I am today, and hope to continue to keep on going.
Well, I have to commend you. I think we have to continue to have these conversations in our community. Most of us didn't grow up learning about different herbs and natural foods. I think a lot of it just stems from needing to have meals that could stretch, and these preservatives initially was just so that we could have longer shelf lives with food. I don't think that people were trying to be harmful. It was just so that we could have food longer. Because you
Mhm.
think about it, fruits and vegetables don't last very long. So you think about if you need to have a supply, you got to find a way for you to be able to store it and preserve it for longer periods of time. All right, let's get ready to try the next one.
Mhm.
So let's see what is next. This liver clean one I don't like so much. This one here is iron done right.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Now I'm noticing a lot of similar. This one has elderberries in it, but how do you say this? Spira,
Sarsaparilla. Yes.
sarsaparilla. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we got that, and we also have a yellow dog.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So this one here is iron done right. Now, what is this supposed to do?
That does everything. You cannot do anything without iron. Iron is the magnetic mineral. Of course, I mentioned that we need 102 minerals, right? Iron being the most important because it is magnetic. It drags all the other 101 of them together. But that's the one that cleans out the blood, purifies the blood, and allows you to build new blood cells. Gives
Sounds
you great
amazing.
energy.
So I've never, so when I was younger, I did not like any kind of cough syrup or anything that was liquid. So I am more of a pill person. So I'm really pushing myself out of my comfort zone, trying all of this stuff. And I'm just having a lot of trauma, y'all, to having to drink cough syrup. I hate,
Before you take that shot, can I tell you something?
sure. Go
I'm,
ahead.
I'm proud of you. I just want to tell you, Jem, that I'm proud of you.
That
I'm
I'm
proud
sitting
of you.
here trying all of this.
Yes.
I'm proud
Proud
of
of you.
me too. I'm proud
Yes.
of me
Very
too.
proud of you.
All right, y'all. So this one here is iron done right.
Yes.
So how do people get your products? Like, how do they? Because I know you shipped me all of
Mhm.
these products to try,
Mhm.
but how do people make orders with you?
People usually, when I started out, it was through word of mouth, but then I started the Instagram platform, and a lot of people reach out to me via Instagram, but it's usually word of mouth. But if you want to reach out to me, you could definitely do so through Instagram
Okay, now
right now. But the website is definitely under construction. I should be launching any day now.
my son, my son is looking at me like, "Mom, you really trying all of this stuff?" That is awful. That one is awful. I can't. So my thing is, this is live radio, and I told him, I said, "You sure you want me to try this stuff on the air? Because I'm not gonna be able to hide it if it doesn't taste. I can't hide it. That one is that one is gross. I know it's probably good for me, but the reality is, I'm probably not gonna drink that ever again in life.
Mix it together because you gotta do it. We gonna knock out these 14 days now. We definitely
Oh,
gonna do that.
if I gotta drink that, kill me now. Just go ahead, because oh my god, that's gross. That
More
one is awful. The other ones were doable. That it's almost like these are getting progressively worse.
life.
It started off no taste, no smell, and progressively as we've been trying it, it's just like oh god. But listen, you know what I'm finding is the stuff that's good for me doesn't taste good. Oh, shush, Wade. I see you out there making comments and stuff. Because
All
Wade,
we're doing is reversing your palates, right? So by tomorrow, when you do your shots in the morning, you're gonna be all right. It's not gonna be so bad.
thank you, Wade. Shout out to your daughter for the hat. Um, Dag, why am I drawing a blank? Wade, put the name of her business in the chat. I can't remember the name right now. My brain, that just these shots got me all my brain messed. Okay, so some of the other things to stay focused here. So we want to balance our blood sugar levels, maintaining stable blood sugar levels through balanced meals and stacks can also help regulate your mood and your energy levels. So let's see what we got next. What we got next, son? My son is not paying attention. Y'all excuse me for all of the, oh god, this one looks gross too. Take this. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able to drink that. Thank you, Museum of Shea. I didn't want to mess it up. Museum of Shea, y'all, is who created my hat. It's a custom made coach hat, and it's my name, and she basically put my name, and it's the world. I don't know if y'all can peep that.
That's
Yeah,
fire. That's
I
fire.
love this hat. Okay, so this one is called Fresh Box. I don't even want to
Ooh,
know what this is about.
you have to. We gotta tell the people what that's about. So that's basically uh
Fresh
that's for the female. Yeah, that's for the female reproductive system. What that does is returns the vaginal canal back to its natural size and the way that it's supposed to be.
Also, it's gonna tighten you up.
Oh, for sure, for
Oh,
sure. But
this
we
is
do.
probably gross too.
That's important because a lot of women are having issues conceiving children. So you got to clean. You got to definitely clean out the vaginal canal, and a lot of women are suffering from things like uh, irregular bleeding, you got fibroids, you got endometriosis and things like that. So you got to clean out. You got to clean out your womb, and that's important when a woman is going through her menstrual. So that's why that was created.
Oh man. Jeez. Okay, guys. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that one's not so bad. That one wasn't so bad. That one wasn't so bad. That the right now, that liver, was that the liver one? I'm not drinking that. Mm-mm. Sorry, Ronald.
Just mix them all together. Mix them all so you can take that shit at one time.
Ooh, I don't know. Now, how much is this the proper amount that I'm drinking right now? Is
Yeah,
this
that's you should yes, that's the proper amount. You're good.
okay?
You should-
All right. So one of the other things we know is that hydration is another thing. Proper hydration is essential for brain function and mood regulation. Drinking adequate water throughout the day supports cognitive functioning and mental clarity. All of these things, and people are like, well, why are we talking about food and wellness? Believe it or not, people think self-care is just about bubble baths and maintenance, but all of these things, exploring different types of food, if you have allergies, going to your primary care and checking out what you can eat and can't eat. I didn't even realize that you could eat for your blood type. So that was another thing that I found out, that certain foods work better for certain blood types. So there's so much information about food and what we eat and what we consume that we don't think about our bodies as like an engine. Like cars, you can't just go put any type of gas in certain kind of cars. You got to know, you got to change your oil. You got to make sure you rotate your tires. But often we're not doing that when we think about our own bodies, on how we're taking care of our temples and our vessels. So this is really good stuff. All right, we're gonna get ready for the next product. I think we almost threw them all. So tell me about the inspiration for the name of the business.
Just Some Herbs was inspired because when people would see you and they see one of the bottles, right? And then like, oh, what is that? A lot of times when I started doing the pop-ups and things like that, they were like, okay, is that liquor or that's hooch? What we drinking on?
It
That
does
ain't liquor.
it does look like some moonshine.
And so I would be like, oh, it's just some herbs. But the name was pretty much a cliffhanger to invoke a greater conversation so that we could speak about what these herbs will do to you and how to revitalize the body. That's my favorite formula right there. Yeah, that's my favorite formula.
All
You
right.
had it.
So can you tell me what these ingredients are in this one?
So you have your Cascara Sagrada, you have your Prodigiosa, you have your Blessed Thistle, and you have your rhubarb. So all of those herbs, they make up what's known as chromium, because every part of the body has a specific type of mineral that they have, chromium is responsible for your digestive system. That formula, what it does is it cleans out the large and small intestines that make up the colon. And that is significant because it reconnects the gut and the brain, which both of those organs need to be simultaneously connected. And now this ties to what you do with mental health. A lot of times when we struggle with mental health, it's because our colon is dirty. So when you have a dirty colon, that's directly responsible for the behavior, how you think and feel about yourself.
Oh, I told you they was getting worse, y'all. Oh, there's no way I could do this. I'm gonna have to mix this into something. Woo. Wait, it does not sound delicious. Shout out to DJ Wade. Shout out to Mina Shea Style Journey. Shout out to everybody on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn that is tuned in today. Why am I doing this live? Because honestly, our brains are rigged in 3 different ways, right? We want to seek pleasure, we want to avoid pain, and we want to find the easiest access points to do that. Things that don't taste good, that hurt, we don't want to do this stuff. You just got to be honest. Like the motivators are not there. You almost have to do a reverse psychology on yourself to convince yourself to drink this and to do this when it doesn't taste good. It just doesn't taste good. But I think about when I had my first cocktail, I remember doing these same faces, like, ugh, alcohol did not taste good when I first had it. I can't sit here and tell you that I was like, yes, I love this. But, people was drinking it and you drank it and you get a little giddy or whatever. And then you try it again and you try it again. Beer, a lot of this is making me think about beer, right? Like I don't particularly care for the taste of beer either. I think it's an acquired taste. Ooh, but let it out, me and let it out. The liver one, goodness, it's gonna be hard, Ronald. It's gonna be hard to stick to drinking these. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now
I got you back. I'm gonna see you all the way through it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
now you did send me some shea butter and you sent me a lip balm. I love that. The shea butter is great. I love how it goes on my skin. All of that's good. But this right here,
That's that Ronnie's rub that you were
yeah,
referring
the
to.
Ronnie's rub. Now, why did you name it Ronnie's rub?
Because me in particular, I struggled as a young man coming up. I struggled with acne, or better yet, the food that I was eating, sweets and stuff, they were just giving me crazy looking skin, right? And as I started to really cleanse and just get into drinking more water, taking better care of myself, people started complimenting me on my skin. And upon creation of these products, I created a salve. That's a skin salve, which is the base is shea butter and it has a bunch of other electric ingredients where provides the body with calcium, potassium, and fluorine for rejuvenation. But I named it Ronnie's Rub because everybody asked me, "What do you do to your skin?" That's the rub. That's what I put on myself to make it smooth and just give me that, and make sure everything was in line.
Okay, now, Mr. Ronnie. Okay, so sent me so far.
Where the lip balm? You got the lip balm in
Oh no,
the lip balm
that's in my purse. I don't have that in front of me, but I did make a little real video that shows me with the lip balm. I'll make sure I send you something special for that. So
Thank you.
basically, what you're recommending is you just put all of these together. You take a shot of each and you put it together and you drink it once. You mix them all.
Twice a day. Yeah, you could do that twice a day. Yeah.
So in the
Yeah.
morning and at night.
Yeah, right before bed, for sure.
Okay. All right. So what are some of the side effects? Is there anything? Because I know sometimes these do make you go to the bathroom. Is there anything you need to be aware of?
Nah, so that's what the first question I usually get. Oh, I work a lot, so do I gotta go to the bathroom? No. So to let it out in particular, to let it out, the iron done right, and things like the liver clean. What's gonna happen to you during this 14-day process? Because it's a minimum of 14 days while you should do this cleansing. If you want me to expound on it, I will. But
Please.
no, it's not gonna give you the runs. It won't do that. But what it will do is reset your bowel movement so that you will have at least three great bowel movements a day. And by having those bowel movements and also urination, that's how you know that your body is excreting waste and allowing you to get to the point of cleansing and just healing the body, because you can't do anything. And even though the taste of let it out is putrid, you must understand that you can't heal the body without first healing the colon.
Well, you know what? I actually saw that. So gut brain connection, a
Mhm.
healthy gut microbiome. I probably said that wrong. Microbiome. I think it's a microbiome. Supported by a diet rich in fiber and
Mhm.
probiotic rich foods like yogurt, have been linked to improve health and improve mood and reduce risk of depression. So it's really important that we connect the mind and the gut. But it makes me also think a lot about, just being connected to your body. So
For
someone
sure.
said, pay attention to how certain foods affect your digestive system. So
For sure.
sometimes we're not paying attention. We're eating so fast, moving so fast, we're not even realizing that certain things that we eat make us feel bloated or
Mhm.
make us constipated or give us, diarrhea. So just paying attention to what you consume and how it impacts your body by practicing mindful eating and just slowing down.
Mhm.
Like they say, you need to chew at least 20 times and actually swallow your food, and allow yourself to actually enjoy your food and stop rushing through it. And that it takes your mind and your gut at least 20 to 30 minutes to register whether or not you're full. So you think about all of that. That's like, a lot of us grew up having to eat really fast. We didn't have time to sit and enjoy our meal. So we eat quick.
What happens is in that process, the reason why we have such insatiable appetites is because a lot of us don't cleanse. What we should do, this is something that we should do, regardless of what diet you have. We should do this once every season. For the first 10 days of every season, we should undergo these cleanses where it frees up our gut, gives our brain better clarity, which allows us to function better. Because what happens is when you're feeding yourself a lot of that food that tastes good but doesn't allow your body to perform at its peak, that's why you become hungry, because your body has become overfilled with parasites, and the parasites are what's going to say give more, give more, give more, and then you develop these insatiable appetites, and that's the reason why we get sick.
So wait a minute, you trying to tell me I have parasites?
Yes, a lot of us, we have parasites, and that's what interrupts that gut and the brain connection, and that parasitic imbalance is what causes mental health crisis, whether it be dementia, Alzheimer's, paranoid schizophrenia, toxicity in relationships. That's all related, correlated to what we're consuming, and that was a big part of why I started to put myself through a journey like this, because I knew that if I became more balanced and more connected to who I am, learning my body, I would be able to save people who are confident enough to realize that they had a problem. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad person. You have a beautiful heart, which is evident of the platform that you have, that I'm so privileged to be a part of tonight. But it just means that we have to take it a step further and get better self-care. So what better way to start in the present and having me here? You see, the shirt says cleansing is the greatest form of self-love. So you're engaging in just that at this prior moment. And I appreciate such
Absolutely.
a big thing.
You know what's so interesting? I don't look at anything about being like good or bad in that sense. I think everything is about choice, right? Healthier choices, and unhealthy choices. And really thinking about this is why I encourage people to understand why they eat what they eat and what they get out of it. Because there are some things that you really, really love. But I think what you're saying is you cut things out of your diet that are not healthy for you or not well adjusted for you. Just like I can't eat shrimp, right? Because when I eat shrimp, it actually creates an allergic reaction. So I'll actually like the way shrimp tastes, but the reaction to it makes me not touch it, right? I don't want my face to swell up and my lips to swell up. So I think a lot of times we're not realizing that that's happening on the inside. Like if you are having like stomach aches, or you're having anything that has something to do with your digestion, I think we often ignore that. But if your face was to blow up, a lot of people would stop doing certain things if it was showed physically on the outside. Not all the time, because I think that's the same thing with weight. A lot of times people don't realize that they've gained a lot of weight. I know I did. It took time before I actually paid attention to it because I'm so busy and moving and moving.
For
And it
sure.
took probably, I think, 15, almost 15 years, over the course of 15 years for me to put on weight. So it didn't happen overnight. So I think this is a process, right? And we need to be patient with ourselves, self-compassion. Like I'm drinking things that I never drank before. As you said, it's an acquired taste. It's going to take a minute for me to really adjust my palate. So talk to me about your better on self moment, because we're getting close to the end of the show. And I always ask people about those moments in their life where they made a shift and they had an epiphany. And that epiphany was like, if not now, then when? And if not me, then who? Do you have moments other than starting your business that you can kind of pinpoint where you were in this space of like, Ronald needs to take control of Ronald and really put Ronald first?
Had several of those moments, and if I had to point to one specific, it was when I got a woman that she was having problems conceiving. She was in a relationship with a guy, and they wanted to have a child, and she was saying that this might be the make or break thing for her marriage, and she said that she had been through a bunch of doctors and endocrinologists and doing all of these tests, and it just wasn't happening. I met her at Vegan Deal, and she was like at the end of her road pretty much because she had two kids. This woman, this was significant because this woman at the time, she was 45 years old. This was a few years back, and then she confided in me to do a cleanse and try to, spice things up, save their marriage, and bring another kid in the world. So this became my bet on self moment because she was able to get pregnant. She was able to conceive, and that showed me like you're giving people hope. You're giving that rejuvenation, and you're saving marriages. Like guys come to me with different things, erectile dysfunction, and they confide and say, my wife, man, she might get up out of here if I can't really perform. So those moments is what allow me to bet on myself because these guys are going to great lengths. They're doing Hennessy, honey packs, and things like that, and they're coming to me for man, iron done right and man up, and then their marriages got longer life. So that's when I bet on myself because I know that I want to be. Every village needs to know who the healers are, who the parents are, and what roles we pick. And I just wanted to be the healer for my village and do my part. And that's why I bet on myself, but I'm still going, definitely.
I think it's definitely a process. I don't think you stop betting on yourself because I think entrepreneurship definitely has its ups and its downs. Sometimes you question what you're doing, but I think those are the things that fuel you when you have those success stories and you make an impact. It reminds you of your why, of why you got into something in the first place, and it keeps you motivated to continue moving forward. Now, I know when I was waiting for you to come in, I was told you were at Trader Joe's. So,
Mm-hmm.
price wise, how much does a whole system, like we had 7 products over there, and I know one
Mm-hmm.
of the gentlemen was asking me, like, what does a system like this cost? What should people be looking to invest in terms of detoxing? What do they need to have on hand financially to keep something
Uh,
like this going?
for me, like I said, I think somebody should retreat to this method once every season. So when it comes to investing in your health, it's priceless. But if you coming to me, you're gonna, let's say, $200 is gonna get you what you need. But I seen some people go in Costco and spend $600 on 2 carts of nonsense. So if I could get rejuvenated for a fraction of that cost, you could sign me up every time. But I never think about the money that goes into it. Like I said, you gotta that's betting on yourself, putting time and investing in your health, and doing these herbs and making sure that you're working out a bit more and giving to yourself. Like you said before we started, you said that you give so much of your time to others and then you need more time for yourself. But cleansing, that's what reaffirms that understanding because you're only good as your engine. A car is only as good as its engine. And you are Rolls Royce and you got to keep the Rolls Royce running steady. So keep it up.
I love your connection to a car. I think we got to make sure that we're maintenance, that we're giving ourselves good fuel, and that we're not just washing and doing the nails and the hair and all of that, but taking care of it ourselves from the inside out. All right. So how can people find you? How can they find you if they want to, learn more about this? Where should they reach out to you? I know I got here to follow you on Instagram
Mhm.
at just some herbs underscore, but is there any other methods that you want people to reach out to you?
The website is definitely coming soon and any day now, and I've been getting flack on that because I had a website, but I had to redo it over because the aesthetic wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. So for right now, it's just Instagram. Instagram at just some herbs underscore, and I look forward to seeing who will reach out to me. I actually want to try to do forums weekly where I'm getting to answer certain questions that people have as far as health issues because this is something that we really need to do and we got to make this priority, and it starts with connections like these. So this was a great conversation. Thanks for having me. Once again, just reach out to me at Instagram and Just Some Herbs.
Definitely. I am going to be partaking in this for the next 2 weeks. Follow my journey. I also will be kicking it up a notch with Vic Breedy. So see you guys next week. Thank you, Ronnie, for coming on the show, and we'll have another conversation. Y'all keep betting on self. Have a good night.
It was a great pleasure. Thank you.
In iHeart Station.